Okay, in this video we're going to look at how to use the word analysis tool that we find in the text and words to help us redefine glosses at the word gloss level and maybe also at the lex gloss level. So we're going to take a look first at this analysis 4 of and you see that the lex entry says to, toward, at, on, from, in, etc. Now your lex glosses, you want those to represent senses from the language point of view, from the Smolyak point of view in this case. So maybe, this is okay for a gloss, but really what this is giving us is a bunch of English equivalents. Maybe what we really want to do there is just say that this is some sort of oblique. So I could say show entry in lexicon, and this will come up to that particular sense, and we will, for here, for this gloss, if we wanted to simplify this, we might just put OBL or something like that. And then when I go back to my word form analysis, that's what's there, right? But we don't want to lose the equivalence that we find in text. Maybe we want a reader of our interlinear text to know, does this mean to, towards, at? What does it mean in this context? So just to give you a sense of that right now, if I say show word gloss in concordance, it will bring up all the occurrences of that word gloss, which we see here. If I go to the next one, we see this here. So we see that we have this short gloss now in the lexical entry, oblique, and then down here we have this great big long gloss. But really in this case here, the narrative of the people, the village. So this is probably more like of in this case here. So maybe we want to get rid of these other glosses. So there's a couple ways we can do that. One is to just create a new word gloss here right now. Okay, so in this case here we might type of. And as soon as I do that, you will see, if we go back to word analyses, that there are now two word glosses on that particular. So now we're back here and you see the new word gloss of. Okay, I can also manually add glosses here just by clicking to the left, say add word gloss, and maybe I want to do one for and another one for from, another one for in. So now I've taken care of all these. Now what I can do is use the assign analysis tool. So there's a couple ways to get to that. You can just click over here once you're in this analysis. You can also click here and use it there, or you can also do it here from word gloss. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to click this one. When you do that, what it does is it brings up all the analyses that exist on a particular word form. And when you click on a particular level, it shows down below all the things that are interlinearized using that level or below. So right now, all of these are tied to analysis level 4. And in particular, if I click on this gloss, all the ones that are related to that particular gloss. If we click on the of, there should only be one, because I just added that manually when I interlinearized. So we have that one instance. But let's say there's a whole bunch of these that mean of from this here, because we just added all those glosses. So I can uncheck all of these and then just go through and click the ones that mean of. So, and I go through this whole list. So these are the ones meaning to, towards, at, and now I want to reassign those to of. So I go ahead and click on assign, and now those are with of here. If I click on of now here, you'll see 3 of them that have that particular analysis. So I can keep going through, Click on this here, and now I want to find all the ones that mean from. So I go through my sentences here. This does unfortunately require that I know the language well enough to make that assignment, to make that link, because the glosses, the interlinear, is not showing up here. Maybe in a future version. But let's say this one means from, and this one means from. I really don't know. So, and then we click on assign, and now those ones mean from, and we keep going through until we've reassigned all of those. Once I've done that, all the ones that remain would mean to or towards. So I can change that gloss at that point. And now when I do a concordance on that, it shows me this, and it shows me that particular word gloss, to and towards. If I go back here and I'm interested in the ones that are that mean from, then I can do a word gloss concordance that way too. I don't actually have to go back and forth. If I remember the word gloss that I want to concord on, I can just type it there. So, and that brings up all the ones that mean from. Now notice in this case there are actually other words that mean from, and so it's also bringing those ones up. It's not just the ones from that particular. Okay, while I'm here, I notice that analysis 1 looks very similar to analysis 4 here. The only difference is the word category. This one says subordinating conjunction. This one says preposition. So my question here is actually whether or not these are the same thing. One way we could quickly tell is by clicking Assign Analysis. Look at Analysis 1 entries. There's only one of them here. So, Analysis 4 entries, and we would go through those and see if we want to combine these. So if we do, I would say take all of Analysis 1 entries and then assign them to Analysis 4. At this point, I could assign them directly to a particular gloss. I'm just going to say this means to, and now it's taken care of. So now I have nothing pointing to Analysis 1. So now I don't have anything pointing to this analysis, so I can delete it. And there's no warning here. Normally, if there are things that are interlinearized with that analysis, a message will show up in this blank spot here, warning you. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Now I have one less analysis to deal with. We could do the same with this. These are probably just errant analyses. This one says it's being used 2 times in our text, but this analysis tells us nothing because there's no word category, there's no glosses, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. And then let's do the same for this last one, which again tells us nothing. So I'm going to delete that one as well. So it's a little bit more cleaned up now. Now I just have this one here. I have the A3 suffix. I have the A1, which means while or as. That's definitely a subordinating conjunction compared to this prepositional use up here, based on the English gloss anyways. And notice here we have two word glosses. So we could check this with the Assign Analysis tool. See which ones are associated with while, just that one. Which ones are associated with so. So we only have 2 of them anyways, so it's, we're not going to use the Assign Analysis tool in this case. Anyways, that's looking much better. These 2 are the same, so we could clean this up as well, because this means here we have while. So actually, let's use the Assign Analysis tool. So we have analysis 4, meaning while. They're both the same part of speech. So let's go to analysis 3, meaning while. That's what we're going to assign it to. So we do that assignment. And now I can get rid of this analysis because it's not being used. Because I've taken all the links that were pointing to it and moved them to the other one. So now I have less analyses to deal with. Analysis 4, very similar again. While as so the big difference here is that we have one more word gloss, a couple more word glosses. So what I would do here, again, other than that, the analyses are very similar. So I'm actually going to take this analysis, use the assign analysis tool from while, and I'm going to assign it to analysis 3 while. Assign. We could add, oh, I should have done that first. And while we're here, yeah, okay, so let's close this. So I just took all the ones that were on this while and assigned them to this. And then I'm going to take as and that. Let's go ahead and create those up here. I guess I could have gone the other direction too, right? As gone from 3 to 4. Let's close these. Okay, so I'm going to take the analyses that are linked to as and that here and move them up here. Then I only have one analysis to deal with. So let's do that. Assign analysis. The ones that are linked to as here. Oh, yeah, there are some. So, and we'll go down to analysis 3 here and assign. Then we'll do the same for that. And assign. So nothing is on analysis 4 anymore. So I can get rid of those. But while we're at it, oh yeah, no, let's close this. And let's get rid of analysis 4 now. Notice nothing's linked to it. Now this is interesting, right? Here we have analysis 5 with the subordinating conjunction, but the word category is the preposition and the word gloss is that great big long gloss we had before. So this one, we would have to do some analysis on the actual texts, but I think this could be collapsed into some of the ones above. And this here, not sure why it's here. Can we delete this? Yeah, nothing's linked to it, so we might as well delete it. Get rid of it for now. And yeah, this, I think we can merge these. Let's just take a look at the text. So we can use assign analysis again for number 5. And notice it has 15 entries, 15 occurrences. But I'm just going to take all those. Because they're using this particular analysis with the A1, the while as, I'm just going to move them to analysis 4. I won't, well, sure, let's put it at gloss level. And, well, no, let's do it at analysis, and then we can decide what the gloss is when we see them in the interlinear tool. So now I can get rid of this analysis too, because it's really the same as this except for that word gloss. So now I've simplified this greatly. There's just one analysis with this A5 oblique, and here's the word glosses that happen with it. Analysis 2 is predicative connective, so that's a different animal altogether, plus it's an affix. So I can close that, close this, and then we have this subordinating conjunction. And was there a reason? This looks the same here too, so we could actually combine these as well. So all the whiles here. Well, this one doesn't say subordinating conjunction, so I'm not sure. I'll leave those because I'm not sure why we have two different categories. One that's subordinating, and it looks like there's another one there. Yeah, so I better not change that because it looks like that distinction is important. So I'll leave that for now. But that's how you clean up word analyses and change glosses. And again, if you need to change lex glosses, you can just go straight to the entry and change it there, and everywhere that's interlinearized, that will be updated.